Good morning from Sweden. I hope you are well. Today it's the morning of Saturday the 24th of January 2026 and this is today's Hexagram or I Ching reflection. We are going through some tough times, but it's leading into something good, and we're starting to take the steps forward into what is new. So yesterday, let's have a look quickly, we had falling away, and that was talking about how what is old is falling away, and it's decaying, and we need decay in order to be able to create something new as well. So it's the way of life, because without death there wouldn't be room for something new. Okay, so if nothing ever died, if nothing ever stopped, the planet would have hundreds and thousands of years ago be full of plants, and no new plants would have been able to grow. And then what happens then when it's absolutely full? Then it sort of shades everything, so a lot of things would have started to die as well. And then also, if people wouldn't die or animals wouldn't die, well, then it would have been full as well, and it wouldn't be able to live as well. So not dying would have led to death anyway, because it's impossible to be born without having a death as well. So this is the cycle of life, really. And it's nothing to resist. It's beautiful. So we should make the most out of the time that we are here on this planet. And right now we're going through some tough times, but that's part of it as well. And that is for us to leave what is old behind and then step into what's new. So let's see what the hexagram is saying today. So let's start by centering ourselves. So breathe in and out through the nose into your stomach. Feeling the stomach expand in and out all the way around to the sides and to the back. So when we're breathing into the stomach, we're activating the diaphragm as well. So, and we should actually use the diaphragm to help breathe. When the diaphragm is soft and can move, which for a lot of us, many people, they can't do that anymore because we don't breathe into our stomach, right? And then it becomes really hard. But we can obviously loosen that as well, and we can do that by starting to change our breath, and that's by breathing into the stomach. And when the diaphragm is moving and pressing down, it actually starts to massage the organs underneath and above, and that softens the organs as well and heals them as well. So there's a lot more to breathing than just taking in oxygen. There's another aspect as well. The breath is our conscious way into switching over to the parasympathetic state, which is the peaceful and calm state of the nervous system. So we are now being brought into the present moment, just bringing all our energy into this place. And today I'd like us to actually bring everything that we're going through right now into this moment. Not in a stressful way, right? Release the stress, but just in a peaceful way. Where are we at the moment right now? Just consider it. Really consider it. Is this a place you want to be in? Is this a good place? And for me, and this is my wish for you as well, to at this moment make a resolution that every day you will check in with yourself and say, is this a place I want to be? And if the answer is no, then think about, how can I change it? So this is the question for today. So obviously it's the usual question, how does this hexagram want to move me today? But we're also going to add the aspect of, okay, so we've gone through, at least this is true for me, some tough times over the last few months. And the I Ching has been showing this as well. And I'd like the I Ching to ask me, how can I change this? How can I change the situation and move faster into the future I'd like to have, okay? How can I make this ride as smooth as possible? And how can I make it as joyful as possible? What is the guidance? So I'm going to start with the inner gua, which is the bottom part of the hexagram. So heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So we have water. So water has been a big theme. It keeps on coming back, okay? It's almost in all the readings, either through water or lake, which is the one up there. And it speaks about nourishment. And it speaks about withdrawal. It speaks of the water element, which is the winter time. And now it is the winter time, right? And that's all about withdrawal. But it's also about replenishing, to drink water. So let's see, how does this hexagram want to move me today? And also, how can I move out of this situation that I am in the current, that we are in currently? As quickly and as smoothly as possible. Please give us guidance in this. So this is the outer gua, heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So earth element is coming back again. So it feels like we are definitely stepping forward, okay? That is for sure. I'm just going to put 2 coins away. So we've got 6. I'm going to look at what's changing. First, I'm just going to draw the diagram. So we got, let's see. We've got kan, water, over kun, earth. No, sorry, the opposite. Kun, earth over water, kun. And kun is all yin lines, so they are divided, and then kan is almost that too. We've got 1 yang line in the middle there, so we're similar in a sense, similar energies as yesterday. So we have 5 yin line and just 1 yang line, okay? So the yang is resting on a yin, so it's actually, if you look at it, it's not in a correct position, because we're starting with the yin and then we've got a yang and then we've got yin. However, I'm feeling the yang line, although it's very lonely, it is getting some nourishment, although the base here is not stable. But it is surrounded by yin, which does bring a little bit of nourishment, but we are still in this removing, releasing, and need to nourish and withdraw, okay? That sort of energy. So now we're going to find out, we can actually do what's hidden. Now I'm doing hidden, we got yang, yin, yin, yang, yin, yin. And then we got yin, yin, yin. So there we go. Again, that's what we're moving into, but this feels, it's got a more, although it's still just one yang line, it's got a more of a stable base that sort of is hidden underneath. And this one is, let's see, is the Thunder Mountain. So that's thunder, sorry. I had to think there for a bit. Thunder. And here we got Kun. So thunder. Earth over thunder. So you got earth, but you actually got movement underneath. The thunder is like an active movement, but earth is a very solid energy. So let's have, and also very nourishing. Earth is where we get all our plants and all this, right, the food, and that nourishes Mother Earth. So let's check which line is moving as well. And changing, which is the, where are we? So it's the top one. So the top turns into a yang. So let's have a look. It's going to look like this. And then so we still got Kan. And here we got Gen. So we've got mountain over water. Some solid, nourishing energies, although withdrawal. So let's have a look at what this all means and which hexagrams we do have today. Starting with the main energy, which is Kun. Kan. 7. Okay. So we're moving up. Moving up in life. We had 3, 4, and 5 lately, even 1 and 2, and now we're moving into 7 here. This over the last few weeks. And then Gen Kan, which is 4, which is childhood. And then Kun Chen 24. Okay, the only one I don't recognize from this last few weeks, the last month or so, is this number 7. We've had both 4 and 27. So this one is childhood. Let's have a look. Let's go check 24 first, which is turning back. No, we've not had 24. We've had 23. And this is interesting because yesterday we had 23, which was falling away. And now we are turning back. So these are like energies, like we're returning to ourselves. Before everything was falling away, but we're turning back now. And this is the beginning of the yang journey. Like here. But that's number 24, and that's what's, see, this is what's hidden or what's approaching. So this is not the main energy at the moment, but this is actually what's coming in. So this is very encouraging. So turning, Fu. Actually, I'm going to check the element on this one. And it's the earth element. And yesterday we had our first earth element. There's been a lot of metal, some water, I think just one fire, and a couple of woods. But now earth is finally coming in. This a little bit more stabilizing energy. So number 4, which is childhood. It's about innocence, ignorance, childhood. And that's what where we are exactly right now, and that's what this main energy. Let's have a look at number 7, multitude. So very interesting. So let's start here with multitude. So originally she meant multitude. At present it means teacher as well as troops or army. Okay, so a teacher can bring a multitude of knowledge to you, right? And an army is multitude of people. So it's like we're in an energy where there's actually lots of opportunity here, lots of opportunity to learn, okay? And when troubling times, we're going through tough times, we have multitude of possibilities to learn, okay, to become more wise, to change our lives in a different way, okay? So this is the energy we're in at the moment. So let's look at the ideograph. On the left is Dewey, signifying a multitude or pile, so that's a pile of things. The right part is Zat, which denotes a circle or can mean to go around. When the two parts join together, a new character is formed, presenting a picture of a multitude of people gathered together and circling a pivot. This is really interesting, I think, because whatever is going on within us is also going on without us. And I watched this video, and I've been seeing what's going on in Minnesota at the moment, where in the United States, right, where the ICE agents have been terrorizing people and taking people away, sending them to deportation centers in Texas. Small children, right, and adults, all not, distinguishing between anything. American citizens, it's just absolutely terrible what they're doing. And this is under the Trump administration. But people are just coming out on the streets, gathering like this is a multitude of people. The businesses are shutting down. I'm not sure if it's just for the day or for a few days. They shut down the airport. The people it's like a multitude of people coming out on the streets to protest this, protest the ISIS. That's very interesting. ISIS terrorizing people, and then protesting the Trump administration, protesting that no other leader is doing anything, right? They have many ways where they can shut this down in Congress. And it doesn't seem like anyone is doing this, just playing out this tyrant Trump. So when we're talking in the I Ching, they're speaking about the tyrant of Yang. And this is the kind of person the tyrant of Yang would be, like Trump or Putin. We think, oh, that seems so far away, but it's here. Like Hitler was a tyrant, Mussolini was a tyrant, North Korea's Kim Jong-un and his father before, a tyrant, right? That's the same thing, exactly the same thing as in the olden days, but like with the tyrant of Chang, with King Wen overthrew. And this is from the I Ching, okay? So for now, we're bringing together a multitude of people, circling a pivot. When the pivot is emphasized, she indicates a teacher, a master, or a person who deserves respect from society. When the multitude is emphasized, it means a multitude of people, not a military force. In ancient dictionary, she denotes a group of 2,500 people. Okay, so it's a lot more people in Minnesota. I have no idea. But I really, best of luck to them. And they're going out in the winter, in the ice, in the snow. They're out in the winter ice and snow to fight ice. Seriously, all my respect to them, and I wish them all the best, sending them all the love and encouragement here from Sweden, which is currently rather peaceful. So, and by saying currently, because you never know when it's going to change, and when the change happens, it goes really quickly. Like when the decay starts, it goes quickly. And I've got this problem in my private life at the moment, but it's the decay, right? The decay we speak about all the time, the decay to release what's old in order to build what's new, because people become complacent, and when you're complacent, you don't see what's going on around you, and this is when evil people with no good intention, they can come in and start to nibble away at your belief structure, belief system, so they can take control over you, so you can help them get their egotistical gains, okay? So always remain vigilant. Although your life is good, remain vigilant. Always alert. See what's going on. Question, okay? Although don't be overly go around and being really suspicious of everything. Just look at things clearly, but still live a joyful life as much as you possibly can. This is interesting. It really, I just love how everything is connected, although it's not good times at the moment. But this one is also speaking about this multitude of people, and it's speaking about peasants. In the olden days, an army, or today as well, if you look in Sweden, for example, the army is created, like people are being trained to be able to go into war, but you don't necessarily live as that. Like during normal day, you're just a peasant or you're a worker and you do your work. In the olden days, it was like that. In Sweden as well, we train our young to go into army, but they do that, but then they go and they live their life, right? We live our life is only to be prepared if somebody were to attack us, right? So you have the preparation, but this is not your entirely your life, right? But you know how to do it. You can quickly gather an army of skillful people if needed. Okay, this is not an army to take to war. This is an army to protect the ones we love, the country, or our communities. And this is going on in Minnesota as well, who are going out on the streets in a multitude of people. It's just normal people who's going, enough is enough, and they're gathering in multitude. Okay, so that's the energy. And with this, which speaks about the teacher, and although the emphasis right now is more on the multitude of people going out on the streets, the multitude of people, it's actually, we can learn from this situation. We should learn from this situation, because we want to make sure that we grow and cultivate ourselves and our inner being during this time. Okay, very important, because it's so easy to fall into anger and stress. So like a breath work, just a simple breath practice, which I showed in the beginning here, just to bring all the energy down into the stomach. We can even release it through our feet down, and then to calm our nervous system. And when we do this, we can think clearly, because when we are in anger and frustration, we cannot think clearly. So we take action from not clear view and a clear thinking. So continuously bring us ourselves into the present moment, and also calming our nervous system, which is very important for our emotional and our physical and spiritual health. Here it says, to the ancients, the war was evil. It should not be undertaken lightly, but only when absolutely necessary. And the purpose of a military affair should be righteous. Only a person of noble character and high prestige could take charge of military affairs. And unfortunately, we have lots of people who do not have are very righteous who are leading. And also a lot of people who are ignorant, which we're moving into here, which is actually the main, which is the energy of this one, which is childhood. And there's a lot of ignorant people as well, because ignorant people don't see what's going on. So they're being easily led by people who don't have good intentions, okay? People with selfish intentions who don't care about anyone else. And here I'm talking about this narcissistic energy I've been speaking about over the last few days or weeks maybe. Or it's been in my life over the last few months, and definitely in the world for years and years and years with Putin and Trump and all these, right? And because so many people are ignorant, they become followers of this. And I see it in my own private life. People are being puppets on a string in a narcissist who's just pulling the strings, and they don't realize it. And these are leaders, okay? And they have no idea what's going on right under their nose. And everything is decaying in a workplace like this. So things are not working. And when you allow that to happen and you don't see this as a leader, if you do not cultivate yourself and to remove all obscurations from your view and become a more awake person, you're going to lose all the good people, and all you have left are just people who talk the talk but do not walk the walk, okay? Manipulators and liars. Anyway, let's read the decision. Multitude, be steadfast and upright, for a person of noble spirit, good fortune, no fault. So yeah, it just says it. Be steadfast and upright, for a person of noble spirit, good fortune, no fault. Yeah, cultivate yourself. You need to have a noble spirit. We need to create great leaders, and you should be one of them. And it doesn't mean we have to take on a great big thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But it's only to influence the people around us by a good, kind heart, to be an inspiration. So we start spreading this love from inside and out, rather than spreading hatred and anger, because this is what we're being surrounded by, right? Because we need to fight with our kind heart. We need to fight the evil, okay? But not by fighting, not by war, not by arms, not by hatred, but by love. Taking the middle way, as the Dalai Lama says. So let's see. She is multitude. Persistence is for righteousness. One who is able to lead the multitude. Persistence is for righteousness. Yeah, so keep going. Keep cultivating yourself, okay? One who is able to lead the multitude, to persist for righteousness, is able to bring peace to the world, okay? Firm and central, he obtains a response, taking the risk of dangerous action. He confronts no hindrance. Relying on this, he maintains public order, and people follow him. Good fortune. What mistakes should there be? Yeah. Firm and central, he obtains a response. There we go. This is responding. Like all yin is responding is number 2. But we got here, the central line here is firm, so he obtains the response. So remain truthfully you. Remain kind-hearted with strong boundaries. Become an inspirational leader of the people around you, but not to be a leader. I think it is so that the best leaders do not want to be leaders. They become it because of who they are, right? People who want to become leaders, that is their intention, then the intention is wrong, and very frequently become a leader that is not a very good leader, because all they want is to become a leader, and that's an egotistical step, right? I'm not saying that a person whose initial intention or wants to become a leader is a bad leader. Not necessarily. Somebody might know that, okay, I want to become a leader because I want to share this love and my knowledge, and I want to bring happiness and joy and peace to people. Then that's obviously the intention to become a leader, is to help, right? Intention is everything. Why are you doing this, right? So if, I want to be a boss because I want to look good, right? I want to become a boss because I want to be a boss, right? Then that's the wrong intention. But I want to become a leader because I've got all this goodness that I want to share with the people. And I want to share with them, and I want to help them. So I want to help lead them in the right. Then the intention is to help, to be of benefit. There is no ego there. That is just to help people who cannot see clearly. Okay. Commentary on the symbol. This is the symbol. So water contained under earth, an image of multitude. In correspondence with this, the superior person embraces people and cares for the multitude. Yeah, and that was just what I said. So I'm not going to go into that anymore. There's more layers of this in the I Ching. I'm not saying I know it. There's so many layers, which I can't see either. So with these readings, I started doing these YouTube videos is because I am learning the I Ching. Okay, I'm a student of this, so I'm learning as I sit here. So I encourage you to do your own research and start reading as well. And then I'd love to hear your comments on this reading as well. What resonates, what feels right, what doesn't feel right, okay? I would love that. And your input on these hexagrams as well. So let's have a look at the changing line. It's the top 6, and it's a yin turning into a yang, so moving into a yang. So the great prince issues commands, establish states and hereditary families. Inferior persons should not be employed. The great prince issues commands, it is to bestow merit properly. Inferior persons should not be employed. They are certain to cause trouble in the country. Yeah, and this is the narcissist energy I'm speaking about as well. Inferior people. Actually, one would think with narcissists, there are different types of narcissists, but they lack empathy, and their main concern is how they look, right? It's like, I want to look this way. They have very little concern on what the output is and what they actually contribute. They don't care about that. And they lack the empathy, and they don't see this, okay? And this is what keeps, because the intention is so wrong. Right? It's only the surface, or this is what I look like on the surface. Within, there is no truth. There is no heart. There's no kindness, and they lack this empathy. Okay, and so all they're doing is trying to gain things for themselves and see how they look. Okay, and when you have that kind of person among you, they are certain to cause trouble to the country. Yeah, this is where you get decay. How everything just crumbles around you. So if you have a person in your life, you see whatever they are involved with, it becomes toxic and crumbles. They will be pointing at other people and getting rid of, like going, it's that one. And there might be, like if you have a vulnerable narcissist, for example, they might be saying, or they will be saying for sure, not might. They will be saying, I've all this trouble, and they're being like, this is why, and poor me or woe me and all this. And this is what draws you in. So you want to look after them, like they got this vulnerability. But that's just to manipulate you, because they learned they can do that and to get people to go. And then they will but not very openly. So this is what's dangerous with vulnerable narcissists, because they just do it a little bit, right? And then they start pointing at other people, they are the problem, and look at all the trouble they're causing me. And then everything is decaying, because they actually, in this sense, They're manipulating people to get rid of the good people who's doing the good work, who are actually trying and actually have a good intention, because the narcissists just want to remain where they're at and then have the control and then continue to live the life that they want. But they have no care at all for you or anyone else or the work that you do or anything. The only thing they care about is how they look. So know that. You can see it by things crumbling, and you can see it how good people are disappearing. Okay. So let's read more into this top 6 and see what it says. So the multitude alternates to childhood. The top line denotes to the end of conflict by using forces. Victory is obtained. The king dispenses the rewards and honors according to merit. The text warns that inferior persons should never be employed in any position in the government. Their messiness is sure to cause trouble to the country. Of course, since there's no actual military conflict in our daily life, this gua is a metaphor. We should search for the ancient wisdom between the lines and beyond the words. And this is so alternates to childhood, which is ignorance. Okay, this we don't see. It's like the ignorance, and when you are being ignorant, you cannot see the toxic energies, and you fall for it, and you become a puppet on a string for this manipulator. And this is what's going on, and this is what's going on in my life as well. So there is a narcissist who is manipulating leaders. So he has them as puppets on a string. They have no idea because they're ignorant. They cannot see it, okay? And then the decay begins, and I have a feeling this is going on exactly in your life as well, in some sort of shape or form. Or actually, I know that for a fact. And this one, again, is earth. So we have multitude is earth. So a lot of earth energy, which is... Let's have a look what it's called. It's called sheep, yeah. Earth. So very earthy energies we got. Kun, earth. That is a very nourishing energy actually as well. Earth is what brings us food. I'm not going to go into childhood because I think we already covered that in as much as we need in this one, but we're going to look at turning back, which is very interesting because yesterday we had falling away, and falling away goes into turning back. Okay, so when what's rotten, what's been needed to decay, has all fallen away, we start a new cycle, and we're turning back to our true essence, and we're turning back to, or returning to, a new beginning. And this is where we got stability. The first line here, which is the first line, it's a yang line in a yang place, and then the next one is a yin line in a yin place. And this is when yang is coming back, and this is like springtime. This is when we're starting. We've come to the winter solstice, and we've gone beyond it, and now we are slowly moving into spring time. So this is when it's starting. This is the beginning of the seed, and this is the little sprout sticking his head up through or his leaves up through the earth. Okay, this is the beginning. Also speaks about childhood, which is like the beginning, is also the beginning, right? A little child is the beginning of something new. We need to nourish ourselves here, because everything is very vulnerable. Everything is very delicate, and it hasn't got a lot of strength at the moment. And just a little, like a rain flow, for example, too much rain might just kill these little sprouts, or a drought, or this starts snowing again, and earth freezes, the ground freezes, and then the sprout will die. So right now it's very delicate time, so we really need to look after ourselves, remain vigilant, and yet strong, okay? Because we starting to have a strong foundation. This is the beginning of a strong foundation, and this is the beginning of creativity. So Let's have a look at this. Turning back, prosperous and smooth, going out and coming in, no harm, friends arrive. No fall. The towel falling away and turning back. So falling away, turning back. In 7 days comes the return. Favorable to have somewhere to go. Okay. We are coming. It's actually changing now. And although it might not seem like we have lots of friends. Like yesterday we stood alone, or we had the I Ching spoke about we're being alone, but we yet have to move forward. And it actually has been speaking about this quite a lot. And we have been standing alone in our fight, right, and trying to make things better. And then we had a great pushback, and it's been like very lonely. And a lot of people have been could have turned against us because we've got this narcissist energy. But now, actually, you have more friends than you think you have, okay? Now, join with these friends and speak up, and then create this great big multitude of friends around you so you can start to make a change within your life. It's the same time as they're doing in Minnesota at the moment. They're started a few protesters in little groups everywhere, and it's just growing into this thing that is just incorporating the whole city, is incorporating businesses, people, schools, and they're being, being endowed. No, what's the word? Anyway, schools and businesses are actually supporting this. Okay, they're still paying many businesses are still paying their employees, although they're closing the doors at the moment, and so there's a great big support, and so there are lots of friends around, and you have that as well. So gather your friends around you, and then start to fight the tyrant in your life. Okay, but gather the friends around it, because they are there. So your friends are arriving, and that is that's the underlying energy at the moment. Okay, that's the I Ching reading for today. I hope it was a benefit to you, and wishing you a beautiful day ahead.